So sometimes this content is just off the top of my head about recent events. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Some predictions about how the Ukraine Russia situation will go. So, is anyone else kind of suspiciously concerned that the Ukrainian offensive is going a little too well? Well, I think that's due to plan. And I'll use some historical references. So, when Hannibal Barca was fighting Scipio, I believe, and the Romans at Cannae, he stood in the middle of his ranks of his army, and they fought the Romans. The Romans came and he fought for a while, and then he started backing off. He started pulling back his main force, and what the Romans thought, they thought, oh, we got this son of a bitch now. Everyone go. And, well, later there was 50,000 dead fucking Romans. How did they do this? Well, they drew in the main force in the center, enveloped them, and I think that's what Putin has done here. And according to reports on Telegram, there's tons of Russian artillery being moved in. And why would you need a shitload of artillery to attack? You fucking carpet shell the living piss out of them. So what I think is going on now is that the Russians are pulling back. They're getting the Ukrainians drunk on success and pride, but they're going to plug that gap. And then before you know it, most of the Ukrainian force is going to be caught in a bottleneck of sorts and encircled and crushed. Now, there's also winter coming around the corner. What Ukrainians should stop doing, or should start doing, rather, is start digging in, start building fortifications before the winter, hits. I'm no expert, but usually you'd want to dig entrenchments and earthworks before the ground gets too fucking frozen before you can dig anything. So if I was a general, armchair general, okay, I don't never. That's what I'd be doing. Entrenching fucking whatever territory you have left, fortifying the shit and piss out of it, because more than likely there's going to be a counteroffensive to what we see here. And the Russians, I think, have played the Ukrainians quite well. And the Western media is taking this far too fucking easy. They're being like, yeah, Ukraine's winning. Oh, Ukraine's got Russia on the ropes. No, Putin is ex-KGB. There's a brain up there. You can't just underestimate Putin. You can't say he's stupid and dumb. There's a method to the madness. Okay, let's take World War II. When Hitler invaded Russia, he had, I think it was 3 million fucking troops, 19 panzer divisions, 19. And within 13 years, that was whittled down to nothing. Whole armies got encircled and destroyed. The Russians just dunked up the war machine with blood and gore of their own people, and it worked. So I think Ukraine is in for a pretty shitty, crazy winter, if you ask me. And I do find it extremely suspicious that this offensive in Ukraine has been doing a little too well. And I think that's what the Ukrainians are doing. They're just giving them little bite-sized chunks and leading them right into a world of hurt. So if I was Ukraine right now, or if I was the Western powers, I'd be like, dial back the offensives, guys. Just let up a little bit. Start fortifying your own units, because hell's coming. Putin's called up for draftees and more conscripts. And in closing this video, whoever seizes the opportunity of winter first in this conflict will have the game. If the Ukrainians entrench, fortify, and prepare, they'll probably do fine. But if Russia lures them into a trap, crushes them, and starts with an all-out assault, like willy-nilly, before the really hard winter hits, they'll take the game. There's also other elements. There's Belarus. Okay, Belarus has been suspiciously quiet, and they're bordering with Ukraine too, and they can pull off some shenanigans. And who's to say that there isn't some other offensive being planned through Belarus? So that's my thoughts on that. Hopefully you found this interesting. And yeah, the moment you get too prideful, too disrespectful and too laissez-faire about your enemy, that's when you run yourself into a world of trouble. And there's this phrase that I've used before that if you give a man enough pride, he will hang himself with it. So I think Ukraine is quite possibly could be in a very big world of hurt here soon. But that's my prediction. Maybe I'm wrong as shit, but yeah, things have been going far too easily, suspiciously so. And I think that's the bear luring the ukes into quite a nasty trap. That's just my opinion. Don't kill the messenger. I could be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyways.